Midnight edition of Knicks Postgame Live presented by Manscaped. Knicks taking on the Timberwolves after getting flooded out of the Garden by the Celtics. But it seemed like the Knicks would take that three-point magic that the Celtics had, and they brought it to Minnesota with them. In particular, one Julius Randle coming in tonight, shooting 24% from downtown. Julius Randle cashes in for 8 for 13 from downtown. Knicks on a whole shoot 39% from 3 and got some big performances by Julius. The point guard Jalen Brunson, RJ Barrett, Obi Toppin. It was a solid team win, and Knicks get an easy one, man. 120-107. Knicks take care of business in Soda, get a nice bounce back win and a nice road victory, man. So we'll take it. CP the franchise, Alex Rotaros on the ones and twos. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's get into it right now. Late night edition of Knicks Postgame Live, man. Got my evening voice on. I'm kind of tired, but nevertheless, we get a win. And it won't be a crybaby fest tonight. So this is a good one that we'll get into, Al. And look, man, I thought right out the gates, this team's energy was great.
Mm-hmm.
They were moving the ball. I thought the energy was very spirited on the defensive end, which was the biggest story coming into tonight. How would they defend it? Now Minnesota's not a sharpshooter from downtown. They're not the Celtics. But nevertheless, you wanted to see some corrections. You wanted to see the communication be better. You wanted to see the defense be a bit more in sync and intact. And I thought they did a good job on that end. But look, on the other end, as I said in the opener, Knicks seemed to really take that three-point magic that the Celtics left them at MSG. And Julius, of all people, was feeling it from downtown, man. 8 of 13. You know, he saw Cat, that's his little brother, saw green, and was just letting it fly out there. No Gobert to contend with tonight. He was out for Minnesota. Julius hitting step-back threes. I mean, he probably just bought himself a couple more games. He's going to be letting it fly. You know what I'm saying? But we'll take it for tonight, man. I thought Julius was in his bag tonight. You take it. 31 points for Julius. Great game. 8 rebounds. 5 turnovers, obviously. You know, he got a little bit careless, especially in the second half when things kind of tightened up a little bit. But overall, solid game for Julius, man.
Absolutely. You know, solid game for Julius. Just, I mean, in the first quarter, all he took was threes, and he was hitting. I think he went 5 for 7 for downtown on straight threes. Yeah. Didn't even attempt to go.
13 of his 15 shots were threes, bro.
Dude.
It's one of those nights.
He was like, yo, Tatum and Brown could do that. I could do that too. Let me get some action. Let me get some action tonight from behind the arc. But man, yo, if you get nights like this where the Knicks as a team are shooting close to 40% from downtown, it's a good night for the Knicks, considering that they averaged 33.1% on the season. Actually coming in, I think it was prior to tonight, you know, they were right behind the Minnesota Timberwolves in 3-point percentage. Timberwolves were 24th prior, and Knicks were 25th. So you talked about it. Timberwolves are not a good 3-point shooting team either. They went 11 for 41. Knicks defense, they had the energy. You had Jalen Brunson out there. You know who was efficient tonight? RJ had a solid game. Obi Toppin, a.k.a. not a dud pick. Comes out here, knocking 3 out of his 8 attempts from downtown. He was effective tonight. You know, he got his 7 boards, 3 assists, 4 steals tonight from Mr. Obi Toppin.
4 steals, bro.
Yo, you saw him swishing and dishing, finding RJ in transition.
Yeah.
Come on, man. This kid, I love that we're getting the small ball lineup too. There's just a lot of good stuff that we're seeing Thibs adapt, even though we can complain about last week too, right? But the adaption going with the Julius Randle, Obi Toppin front court, it's paying dividends, man. We saw it against the Philadelphia 76ers. We see it tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. We saw it even against the Celtics. It had its stretches, but Celtics were just on a whole other level. They were just knocking down everything. So it didn't even matter. It just didn't even matter. But I like what I saw, man.
Yeah, and even Thibs said he saw some good things from that small ball lineup with Obi and Julius. So that could be a sign of things to come with Mitchell Robinson on the mend. I think we're going to see more of that. You know, tomorrow, Wednesday, they go up against the Nets. Nets don't have a formidable front court. I think you're going to see some more of that, man. That could be a thing. It's so interesting how all of these injuries have almost forced Thibs' hand to play Obi Julius tandem, get Cam into the starting lineup because the defense was so porous on the perimeter. You know, that wasn't injury. That was just terrible play by Fournier. We won't even get to that. Let's get to more of the good things, right? Back to Obi. Maybe his shooting prowess has rubbed off on Julius a little bit. Who knows? You know, Julius was looking at Obi having all that fun from downtown. He was trying to recapture the magic. I doubt it's very sustainable, but for tonight, we'll take it. But on the Obi front, once again, good shooting night by him. But I thought it's really on the defense, man. 4 steals. He's had active hands, not just tonight, but all year. You know, active hands, his help defense has been good all year. As you said, got out in transition very well. 3 assists, 7 boards, 26 minutes for Obi tonight. So some of that is subbing in for Julius, and then a couple of those they played together in the first half and then closed the game in the second half. So here we go. We're getting some Obi and Julius minutes, spacing the floor out a little bit, spacing the offense out. And you see in a confident Obi, man, he's looked good on both ends of the floor tonight. No question about it.
Hey, man, you know what? It's interesting how, you know, you had Cam Reddish have his good performance on Friday against the Philadelphia 76ers, and JD was here to represent the Cam Hive. I am here tonight to represent Obi Toppin, getting 26 minutes, having a solid night tonight.
Yeah. Solid.
Serendipitous, right? Serendipitous, as Clyde would say.
Absolutely. Let's shout out Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
23 points, 8 assists for Brunson. Another efficient night, 9 of 14, 2 of 5 from downtown. He was our floor general once again tonight. I thought he was excellent. He did a great job probing, great job attacking, great job operating out of the mid-range. Found RJ for a couple of nice dimes and just got us together, man. Just got us organized. You know, Minnesota has no defensive answer for him now. They did try to have McDaniels on him earlier in the game. Didn't really see too much of that. They tried to slow him down in that way, but overall, Brunson was just doing what he wanted to out there. But I thought he did a great job leading the way.
It's, you know, D'Angelo Russell's not known to be a good defender, and Brunson took advantage of, you know, D'Angelo Russell's lack of defense.
Yeah.
He went 9 for 14 from the field, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 2 for 5 from 3. Got you 8 assists, 5 rebounds. You know, Jalen Brunson, we already know what he is, man. He's methodical. He's patient. He can score at all 3 phases. Phenomenal game. I think tonight was just a good bounce back game for the Knicks. You know, without Rudy Gobert in there, I don't even know if it really made a difference because the Knicks were just so hot from 3 tonight.
They didn't even attack like that. They only had like 38 points in the paint.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think Rudy Gobert being out there makes a difference tonight, especially if they're shooting like this.
Yeah.
As we saw from the Knicks. But regardless, Knicks were just able to impose their will on the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first half. I mean, they were over 70 points before the half even ended.
Yeah.
Come out here. Sure, they started to close the gap a little bit, but the Knicks held on. They did what they needed to do. And I thought the defense was solid for the most part. I also thought part of it, too, even though the defense was on point for most of the game, I also think it's a little bit of the Minnesota Timberwolves just not being able to hit shots. Like they
didn't really seem like they showed up, especially in the first half. They looked like they were sleepwalking, bro.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge that the Knicks played good defense tonight, but I also don't want to make it seem like the Knicks had like this impenetrable defense that we saw 2-3 seasons ago when they made it to the 4 seed. It was solid defense tonight.
Yeah,
but the Timberwolves also they had some wide open shots that they were just missing. And it was hitting the back iron.
Yeah.
Too.
And I mean, let's be honest, and Edwards didn't show up until the second half.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. You wanted to see how this team was going to respond once the Timberwolves got a little bit more active in the second half. And they did. You know, Towns stepped up. Anthony Edwards started scoring a little bit more. Nas Reed gave him some good effort and second chance opportunities. But give credit, you know, Knicks were able to quell some of that momentum and quell these runs and just maintain that lead. And so I thought that was a good job. It was really the second half was really when I was going to measure, you know, how well they were going to play in this game. And they were able to, weather a couple of storms. Now, Got to shout out RJ, man. You know, RJ, who was the talk of a lot of fans, especially to start off the season, starting off slow. RJ starting to pick it up, man. Last 5 games, RJ came into this game averaging 21, 5 boards, 3 assists, shooting 43% from downtown, 84% from the stripe. I thought tonight he was great. Tonight. RJ finished tonight with he finished with 22 points, 5 assists, 42% from downtown, 83% from the stripe. I thought RJ was great tonight. Finished well at the basket, had a couple of N1s and some strong finishes. You saw him breaking out that spin move into the paint, trying to get some more separation there, using his physicality. And I thought, like I said, he finished strong, shot the 3-ball well, played some good defense. They tried to get him on a backdoor play. He had a steal off of that.
He's got 2 steals tonight, man.
Yeah, I thought RJ is he's coming along, man. Good game by RJ tonight.
Absolutely, you could see that. You can see that from the start of the season where RJ was just pressing and trying to force a lot of shots and had those blinders on. Now he's starting to get into a rhythm. He's starting to feel more comfortable in the game. Thankfully, it's happening a lot sooner than it usually does.
Yeah,
we used to have to wait until a little bit further into the season, closer to December, for him to really start picking up speed to get his game coming along. But this is, 7 for 18 tonight, 3 for 7 from downtown. Got you 5 boards, 5 assists. The 5 assists is really the thing that is impressive because, we talked about it. And you talked about also on last week's show, but we talked about it a couple weeks ago that you want to see RJ be a little bit more patient, and he had more playmaking to offer. And I think tonight was a night that we saw that more playmaking come through because of his ability to be patient and just letting the game come to him. He's not trying to force all the shots. Sure, there's some moments during the game that's like, did you really need to do that? But it's not anything like the Memphis Grizzlies or when you're watching him play against the Cavs or against the Bucks, and it's just like consistently just trying to get downhill and not looking for his teammates. Now you're seeing him looking for people while they're out in transition or just waiting for people to cut and just getting some and just waiting for the action to develop, Yeah,
I thought it was solid, and he's been playing that way. And look, if you're getting more of these opportunities, this is second straight game now where you have RJ, Julius, and Brunson scoring over 20 points. Those are good things. They scored more than enough points in Saturday's game to win. You just had the Celtics just have an out-of-body experience. But if you get more of these games where these guys are all over 20 points, with Obi contributing the way he has been off the bench, that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. So good job by RJ tonight. And as I said, overall, Knicks shot 39% from 3. So they're continuing to shoot the 3-ball well and taking a ton of threes. They took 48 threes tonight. So, when Thibs was asked about that shot diet, he said, look, this is where the league is. This is where the league is going. So again, I'm not gonna put him out there as this offensive wizard, but you got to give him some credit here for trying to keep up with what's going on, allowing these guys to take some of the shots that they've been taking, encouraging that. Now he's going to the smaller lineups. You got to give him some credit, man. You got to give him some credit. I know a lot of the fans don't like to give him credit. We got to give him a little credit here.
You're talking to, look, I was giving him credit at end of last season. I'll still give him credit where I see that it's due. Look, last week was a terrible week for adjustments and all that type of stuff. Just call it like it is, man. Last week was bad for Thibs when it came to adjustments. Now he's making adjustments. But yeah, the shot diet. Look, this team averaged about 33 3-point attempts. He's always preached that he wants to get more 3-pointers up since last season and get out in transition. I don't think we had the horses to do that last year, but now we actually do, especially when you have Brunson who can control the pace. So when you have Brunson who can control the pace, you have Obi Toppin who's now who's allowing Obi Toppin to push out in transition. Randle, you can see during some plays wanting to push out in transition. Same thing with RJ quickly. You got Rose, everybody. And he talks about, the ability to have positionless basketball. So he's allowing everyone to bring up the ball, push out in space, get some easy baskets in transition. This is all the change that we're seeing right now on this team. And I think now that you have guys who are more comfortable in their roles. Obi, IQ had a solid game tonight, very efficient, even though it wasn't, as prominent as RJ, Randle, Brunson, or even Obi. He was still efficient tonight. I thought Sims played a solid game as well, but these guys are getting more comfortable in their roles, and with that, you're able to open up the playbook a little bit more, and there's a little bit more trust that comes with it. And you're seeing that by the way that they're playing basketball this season. It also helps when you have someone like Jalen Brunson who can score at all three phases and can just orchestrate and facilitate and just lead this team. But we're starting to see this team gel at the right time, I think. But I know it's early in this week after a bad last week, but it seems like this team's starting to click. Let's see if they can keep it moving forward against the Brooklyn Nets
on Wednesday. Absolutely. And when you talk about the rotations, especially in the fourth quarter, there was a moment where, like I said, Naz Reid was trying to cook. Minnesota was trying to claw their way back in. They would cut the lead to about 16. Knicks call timeout. That's at the 10-minute, 51-second mark. They had the whole second unit in. It was Rose, it was IQ, it was Obi, it was Fournier, and I believe it was either Hartenstein or Sims. Thibs calls timeout. He swaps out Rose and Fournier for Brunson and RJ, leaves IQ, leaves OB in there, and then ultimately swaps out IQ for Cam. He brings Julius in there for Hartenstein, and now you have your small ball closing lineup: Brunson, RJ, Cam, OB, Julius. Basically finished that game on from Cam came in a little bit later. But most of those guys were in from about the 8-minute mark. Never came out the game. And ended up pulling away. So that's a good job. Good job by Thibs.
Yeah. Look, I think it's unfortunate to say that injuries have kind of opened up some things to shake out this way, but sometimes that's what you need to see if things work. Because remember, we heard at the beginning of the season, Thibs was downplaying the Obi and Randle combination. He was like, oh, well, that was just garbage time minutes, even though it shows positive. And now we're seeing positive results. I don't know. Maybe it's just that we see a guy who likes to push out in transition and get to easy baskets that kind of helps for everybody else. And now he also talked about if he's able to shoot threes, it also helps. And if you have guys who are somewhat redundant, when you have Brunson, RJ, and Randle, who all love to live within that 15 and less of the basket, having someone like Obi, who's now gotten a lot better at shooting threes, spaces that floor. We talk about having stretch fours, stretch bigs.
That's major.
That opens up the paint.
Major.
So, and this is the opposite of when you have someone like Mitchell Robinson who clogs the paint for all these guys.
Yeah, no question about it. And coming into this game, no Mitch. He went Sims with the start. Were you surprised about that? I was a little bit surprised that he went with Sims with the start. Now, Sims is back home in Minnesota. I didn't think it was a hometown kid type of thing, like a Larry Brown tactic. That's one thing Channing Frye told us that Larry Brown used to do during that era. But were you surprised that he went with Sims to start?
No, I'm actually not surprised. I think he's better than Hartenstein when it comes to offering rim protection. And there was part of me that wanted to actually talk about that if we were able to do weekly this week, but had that because I was like, Hartenstein, like I like the ability to open up the spacing for Randle and RJ, but I think if you still want to have rim protection, because even when we saw, against like Philly and against even like Boston, whenever they did go into the paint to attack, you still need some rim protection, and that's not Isaiah Hartenstein. He's usually a step slow.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's like usually in the right position, but he doesn't have the athleticism like Mitchell Robinson to have that recovery speed. And I think having Sims, who does have that same like athleticism as Mitch, being able to guard the perimeter, has the lateral mobility to keep up with some of these guards on the perimeter and is able to recover and get back into the paint. I think that makes more sense for having rim protection and athleticism out there. And it kind of gives you the same thing that what Mitch offers to a certain degree. So I thought that made sense.
I did as well. I thought it was the right move to make because Sims offers you, I think he's a stronger rebounder. He's a better screener. Defensively, he can recover a lot better than Hartenstein. Hartenstein, you got guys blowing right past him every single time on the perimeter. Well, every once in a while, he'll give you some energy and get you some nice help defense, get you a nice block and everything. But I think Sims is just more fundamentally sound. And also, I just felt like with the Towns matchup, I felt like it was better to go with a Sims than a Hartenstein. You know, you put Hartenstein in there early. He's not as disciplined in terms of defending. He picks up 2 ticky-tack fouls, and you throw him out of his rhythm. I thought it was better to go with the Sims, better matchup against the Towns. Now, Sims, Towns is Towns, and Sims still had his trouble. I think he picked up 5 fouls in this game. It is what it is, because now we can still go small with Obi as your emergency 5, or Julius as your emergency 5, what have you. So I thought it was the right move to make. I thought Sims played well. He had one of the best plays I saw him make was on a Brunson drive. He set the screen at the top of the key early, and as Brunson was driving around to the left, Sims was rolling, diving to the hoop, but then he seals off Towns and allows Brunson to get an easy layup. Those are some of the things that you're looking for from Mitch or even a Hartenstein, and those guys just don't give you that. Sims is he's just better in those areas. And I thought he came to play. He was ready to play, and got some well-deserved starters minutes tonight.
It's good. It's a good thing that we have 3 centers on this team, because we talked about this prior to the start of the season, CP, where what happens if we lose Mitch? We know Mitch is going to get injured, right? And we're like, well, you're going to need Jericho. Jericho's going to get there. Jericho's probably not going to get any G League games because the necessity of needing another center. It's not like last season where he had to get his feet wet and try to adapt to the NBA, being a rookie. Now he's had an off season, understands Thibs' system. I thought he did a solid job tonight. Awesome stuff for Jericho Sims. This is why you have, I guess, for Thibs, especially for a Thibs defensive scheme, why you have 3 centers on here.
No question about it, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Late night edition of Knicks Post Game Live presented by Manscaped. Call us up, 657-383-1509 is the number, or you could hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord. We'll take a couple of calls, see what you guys felt about tonight's game, and then get ready for Wednesday's tip-off against the New Jersey Nets. All right, here we go. Rambo from Tampa. Rambo, what's good?
What's good, guys? I ain't been calling in a while, man. I had to make sure I definitely called in tonight after I heard, everybody's already talking about him, Jose from Puerto Rico.
I could have sworn Rambo just called last week, but I'll let him go.
I want him to keep that same energy throughout the whole year. You ready labeling him trash?
Yeah.
It's early. It's way too early for that. Come on now, man. Look at Thibs over here. Thibs is over here, low-key, switching things up, getting rotations, putting Obi with Randle. Everybody going against Randle and going against Obi. Man, stop that. We are Knicks fans first, okay? Let's remember this, guys.
Okay.
If Thibs gets this rotation right with Obi and Toppin, not Obi and Toppin, Obi and Randle, that night and day, Randle bullying them and then Toppin running them all day. Come on. Stop it, man. We need to come together right now and really just stay on Thibs' head and just stay on him getting these rotations right. Because look, I thought Obi and Randle couldn't work. It looks good to me. But hey, it's a late night, man. I've been working. Holla, rapid fire.
All right, man.
Good night, man. For real.
Rambo stumbling to the finish line, man. It's late. He's
like, yo, man, it's 12:25. I'm doing my best. I want to get my Knicks take.
That's a diehard fan right there, man. That's a diehard fan. Shout out to Rambo, though, man. Let's go to Minneapolis. Let's go to Brian from Minneapolis. He was at the game. Brian, talk to us, man. How you feeling, bro?
Guys, oh, my goodness. Hey, I love the show. Been listening for a long time.
Nice.
You guys are maybe the first, second, third Knicks fans I've ever talked to in my entire life.
Oh, man, that's great.
Is that crazy?
Not crazy at all. It's the number one show for the fans by the fans. We appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, love the show. I'm just going to keep this short. I just wanted to call and say, fun game. I've been to, pretty much every Knicks Minneapolis or Timberwolves game, and we typically did come out of there with an L. And it was fun it was just a fun game. I was surprised by the Sims start.
Yeah.
I wasn't following social media on my way to the game. And I thought he did well. And I don't know, the team had a good energy about them, and I'm not really sure what to make of it, guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, nice talking to you.
How was the vibe in there? Were Knicks fans well represented in there? How was the vibe in there?
There's actually quite a few Knicks fans in there, here and there. Yeah, it was a fun game. It was vibing.
All right. Yeah, we'll definitely appreciate you calling in, man, and giving us a report from the Target Center. Call in anytime, man. Brian from Minnesota on the check-in. Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Get you guys later.
All right, man. Brian from Minnesota, Al. Let's go, man. There were a couple Knicks fans in there repping.
You saw the Knicks fan that spoke to Clyde. Did you see that one?
I did. I didn't have my volume up. I was watching something else. But what was his background? He seemed like an OG fan. What was his background?
He's an OG fan. Always enjoyed the Knicks. I forget the entire backstory, but I think he got Clyde's jersey today to wear to the game, and then he had the opportunity to meet Clyde, who's one of his favorite players from that team. And they just they just chopped it up for a little bit before the game started, which I thought
no doubt.
It's awesome.
That's love. Yeah, that's definitely love. Okay, here we go. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Midnight edition of Knicks Post Game Live presented by Manscaped. We got 1,800 in here anyway, Al. The people come that doesn't matter what time a day. We in here. You heard Rambo. He was a zombie on the phone, man. And my man was fighting sleep. You could tell he probably worked like 2 shifts today. He was still calling in. You got to get your Knicks Fan TV fix in. Knicks got a 120-107 win in Minnesota. And look, Brian says you don't know what to make of it. Hey, make of it as this. It's a win. The game's over. They got to win. Move on to face those bum-ass Nets in the Battle of the Boroughs. That's the game of the week. That's what we got to talk about tomorrow and get ready for on Wednesday. We need a W, man. We need a W. Nets, I believe they lost to the Mavericks just now, so that's a good thing. What to make of it, who knows? Like, is Julius' 3-point barrage tonight sustainable? No, he's gonna be chucking at the Barclays. He's probably gonna want to pull your hair out, be like, Julius, relax. But tonight was his night, man. The basket was as wide as the ocean tonight for Julius, so you let him ride, man. 8 of 13, he's hitting step backs. Look like 2019, 2020 Julius, man. He's looking good out there.
Man,
2021, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Look, on the season, he's shooting 24.4% from 3. Some nights you're going to have it. So, look, there's guys who stink at shooting threes, who attempt it, and there'll be nights where they just have a barrage of threes just fall. Is it sustainable? I mean, he shot well against the Celtics, shot well against the Timberwolves. Maybe he's getting into rhythm and he'll have a hot streak of shooting threes for a little bit. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see against the Brooklyn Nets. Let's see is it the Izod Center that they're going to? Right? That's where they're going, right? They're heading back to the Izod Center.
Izod Center, Prudential Center, Edward Burns Arena, whatever they call that place, man. Whatever they call that place. Let's go in there and get a win. That's what I'm talking about. With the Wolves, man, I just don't see it with this team. I know Ant-Man was sleeping out there, but like, they gave up their whole future for Rudy Gobert. It still doesn't make sense to me.
I keep saying they got fleeced, man. They got fleeced for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, doesn't make sense to me, man. Shout out my guy Michael Callender checking in from Australia. Sends a $50 super chat. Says hashtag KFTV, hashtag NY Knicks, hashtag NY Knicks Nation, hashtag NY Knicks Family Salute. Is that my guy Mike from Australia? He sent a regular $50, not an Australian $50. Michael Callender, are you from Australia? Let us know. I don't remember if that was my guy from Australia. But whatever you guys are from in the chat, man, throw your cities, throw your countries in the chat, and we'll shout you guys out. This is a rapid fire edition of the show. Please believe it. So we're going to take a couple more calls and then and move on to the next one. Knicks win 120-107. To the Discord we go. Let's go to Hawaii, man. Bmura, let's go.
Yo, CP.
How we feeling, bro?
All right. I'm a fair Knicks fan, so first I have to say shout out to Julius. I say it how I see it.
Yeah.
So shout out to Julius. Great job. He did have that one time where we had that open layup and he didn't even try and contest.
Yes.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
The one where he got smacked by McDaniels and then didn't contest the layup. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I was ready to throw something at the TV. He was lucky he was up by 20.
Exactly. But this time I wanted to count how many poor rotations we had. So in the first quarter we had 4, second was 3, the third was 2, and the fourth was 1. Compared to the Boston game, there's probably like 10 in the first quarter alone. I thought the defense looked a lot better. I don't know if you guys noticed, but on those on some screens and some of those help side, weak side passes that they make, Thibs likes to have those guys switch and rotate over while all of these other things are going on. I think that's why there's so many miscommunications. So it looked good tonight. And I also wanted to count Julius post-ups / how many times he held the ball for 3 or more seconds.
He had a couple of
The
those.
first quarter, the offense was moving good.
Yeah.
0 times. Second quarter, 2. Third quarter, 2. Fourth quarter, 3.
Yeah.
So, but the thing about that is, if it's a closer game, then that number's gonna go up.
Yes.
But
unfortunately.
But I mean, that just shows Thibs, man. Hey, keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Don't just hold the ball.
I thought the ball movement was excellent tonight.
Yeah.
From everybody.
100% agree.
I thought the ball movement was excellent. Rose, IQ, Obi, Brunson. I thought the ball movement was really good tonight. Really good tonight.
Yeah, even IQ, because sometimes IQ, he's taking way too long to try and look for a mismatch. And, that really slows us down.
No question.
Shout out to Obi. Great shooting again. Great energy. How about the defense from Obi so far this season?
All season, man.
He's active out there.
His help defense has been on point. 4 steals tonight. It's been good. Yeah. And those are the things that are going to get him those minutes with Julius, man. Hitting the 3, rebounding, and playing some defense. And he's doing all of that. 3 of 8 from downtown tonight, 7 boards tonight, 4 steals. That's what's going to keep you on the court with Julius in crunch time, man. It's great numbers.
Yeah, and plus, shout out to Thibs because in the fourth quarter, normally, so RJ came back with 8 minutes. Normally, Julius would too, but Thibs left Obi out there for another 2 minutes. I thought that was good. So, he's slowly getting that trust. And last, I'm going to say something controversial.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Yeah.
We're all ears.
All right. Mitchell Robinson.
Oh, boy.
We all love Mitch.
He wants him out of here.
All right. No, not that.
Oh.
But I was skeptical of giving him the bag because the position and skill set that he offers this team is debatably one of the most replaceable. Finding an athletic big, an athletic big who can contest shots, block shots, grab boards, rim run. That's not the hardest thing to find, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, look at the Pistons. You get a guy like Duran, it's like you're gonna find those all the time. Like, realistically, what's the gap between Mitch and Sims? Like, in my opinion, Mitch is clearly better, but I'm just saying it's not like a huge, $60 million contract difference is all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's fair to question and appreciate the call, man. Good points. Great points on that. I thought that was a 5-star call. It's fair to question, obviously with Mitch, his calling card has been on the offensive boards and obviously rim protection. But I think in giving him that contract, you're also looking for a little bit more upside offensively. Is there more, to utilize the vertical spacing? Can we use him as more of a lob threat? They still haven't really done that this year. I don't know, but the durability is also a question, man. Which was another point of emphasis in terms of being leery to give him that contract. But it's also not a bad contract either.
No. What do you got, 45 mil?
Yeah, it's not a bad deal.
It's not a bad contract for what he offers with the potential of upside. And I think it's once again shoring up the center position because there's still also the unknown of what Jericho Sims is. You got Isaiah Hartenstein, so Hartenstein is just the complete opposite of what Sims and Mitchell Robinson offers. Having Sims is insurance for Mitchell Robinson because of the durability issue, but having Mitchell Robinson, unlike Sims, gives you the continuity. I think as of right now, a better rim protector, better like Mitch is top in the NBA when it comes to offensive rebounding.
Yeah.
So, and he's also a solid guy right now when it comes to boxing out as well. So there's elements to Mitch's game that you're just not going to get there yet with Jericho Sims. But I could see the Knicks investing in Jericho Sims as of right now while having Mitch. And if you want to look at it, his contract is tradable because you also need guys to have some, you need to have, you can't have like all these light contracts to trade, right? When you start looking to move guys or consolidate assets, the contracts have to be pretty sizable in order to move, right? You talk about Fournier having a good chunk of change locked up there. Mitchell Robinson also another good chunk of change locked up there. There's guys with contracts around that range rather than saying, oh, well, $5 million annually, because that means you probably have to add more players with him to complete a trade. Mitchell Robinson, you could now theoretically do a 1-for-1 value or close to adding just another person to go trade for another player who has a larger contract. Maybe it's an upgrade at a different position that you need. I think that's the other thought process when you're signing Mitch as well. But at the same time, he's earned that contract. He's earned it. He's shown that when he is on the floor, he's very impactful. So look, we didn't have Nerlens Noel against the Atlanta Hawks in that series. I think Mitch, like when the Knicks made the 4 seed, I think Mitch would have been helpful during that series
for
just
sure
by consistent rim protection, both in your starting unit and your bench unit. So we know what happens when we don't have Mitch. The paint is just open. But I still think it was a good contract to give Mitch at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree with that. And tonight really wasn't a night where, like a D'Lo, he's not a perimeter threat. I mean, he's not an attack. He's not going to break you down off the perimeter is what I'm trying to say. And Edwards, he was half asleep in the first half. Like this wasn't a night where you had to worry about, having a rim protector out there because Minnesota really wasn't attacking that heavily, at least in the first half. The second half, they did come alive a little bit, but I thought Sims did a good job. I thought Hartenstein as well. But I'm saying in those cases where you have those big time perimeter threats where they're gonna put your guards on skates, Mitch is a big factor back there that opposing guards have to identify and know where he is. And then on the offensive side, cleaning up a lot of those bricks, he is valuable. Now, how does he impact the spacing? We all know that. How does he impact the spacing with Julius and RJ and Brunson? We all know that could be a potential issue. But now that you're seeing some positives and some more sample size with the Julius and Obi tandem, maybe that's your new closing lineup later in games. So could be a best of both worlds situation, but first things first, he's got to get healthy, man. He has to get healthy. So let's see where that goes. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Shout out to Lash in the chat. ATL checking in. Seb from Long Island. We got Top Notch T, Greensboro, North Carolina. David Byer, Barbados in the building. Shout out Drew Racing from the Bronx. First Lady of Sports in here. Never misses a show. We got Christian Fernandez checking in from Cleveland. Robbie checking in from London, 5 a.m. Robbie's up and at him with us. Let's go. Sean Boy, Abel, Jamaica in the building. Let's go. J.A., stand up. We got Jay Walker in the Bay Area. Jay Walker, how you feeling? RS, excellent show, guys. Shout out RS in the chat. We also got a super chat from Joshua Sarasua. Says, if Obi keeps showing out all season and Randle performs as we expect him to perform, who would y'all stick with next year? Salute from Spanish Harlem. I don't know. I don't want to talk Obi Randle trade right now. It's 12
Not
o'clock.
at this hour.
It's midnight, man. Let's save it for we literally talk about it every show, man. Let's save it for another one. Shout out MK Tab, Sydney, Australia. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Salute to Australia. I got Andres Puerta, Colombia in here. So we all over, man. Harry is in Tulum, repping the Knicks. Oh, Harry's getting it popping right now. I already know Harry's in the mix. Shout out to Tulum, man. I want to go over there, see what's going on.
Shout out to all the Jets fans in the chat right now. Lash, JJ.
Yeah, shout out to the
Brandon
Jets
Guest.
fans, man.
That was a great win, man.
Great win. That was a big win. Absolutely.
Woo.
That was a big win for you guys. And it looks like Josh Allen got hurt. It looked like he had gotten hurt on that strip sack fumble on their last drive, because it seemed like he really jammed up his elbow. I'm thinking that's where he hurt himself.
Yo, Bryce Huff, man. Jets defense. Bunch of Jets defense is just on a whole other level, man.
Jets got a big win. That was a big win. I was watching that game. It was a big win.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I give credit where it's due, Al. That was a big win. I was a big win. I always root for the underdog, hope for the upset, and they delivered. So they're great job by them. Hold this L in the Discord. Let's go.
What's going on? What's going on? I'm calling from Saudi, Shaq with a K. I just wanted to give.
Wait, you calling from where?
Saudi Arabia.
Whoa! What you did?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo, this guy's turned up right now. It must be daytime where
I'm
you at,
turned
man.
up. I've been wanting to get on your show for a while. It's 7:00 in the morning, so I wake up at 2:00 in the morning to watch the games. I watch the after show, but too tired to call in, so I just wanted to finally get a chance to call in.
What you doing out there, man? You serving?
Yeah.
I appreciate your service, man. That's a great thing. Which group?
I'm in the Air Force. I'm a nurse in the Air Force.
Salute, man. Salute to that, man. You're a great job, man. Good luck to you.
Yeah, appreciate it. I just wanted to get to most of the Knicks fans. I heard the call in with the guy from Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm. We got to be easy. This is a slow build. People want to get rid of Leon Rose, which we got to think about where the franchise was before we got Leon Rose. We got draft picks. We got assets. We got young players. It's a slow build. We got the best way for us to become a winning franchise. We have to have consistency.
Yeah. And
the main thing we had that messed up our franchise, because we were doing the tank thing was Julius Randle. He sold us fool's gold. He sold us fool's gold during that bubble season, and Leon Rose had to change ship. You know what I'm saying? You can look at the Timberwolves. They had, Wiggins, Towns. Now they got, Anthony Edwards looking like a great prospect, but they haven't won any more games and playoff wins than us, playoff series. So we gotta just chill. Let it slow cook. And with Cam, I think they don't freeze him out because he's not the number one option, but he'll play a whole half and not touch the ball one time. So, when you play basketball, you don't touch the ball, you take bad shots because you don't know the next time you're going to shoot balls. I don't think they freeze him out, but we don't got ball movements. A lot of, Randall and RJ's like ball stoppers a little bit. And I feel like if RJ could unleash his ball playmaking ability, that's going to take him to the next level. I'm kind of happy what I'm seeing for him. The first two games had me nervous, but he's doing all right.
Okay. Appreciate the call, man. So he called in. He wants smoke with Jose.
Yeah, I want to smoke with Jose.
All right, man.
I'm kind of a little nervous. It's the first time calling, but I'm excited.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But I want to smoke with Jose. We doing all right. If Randall would have shot 44%, 33% from three-pointer, we would have made the playoffs or be a play-in. And I'm glad we got R.J. Brunson because we got a leader and someone that's probably a better player on the court than Randall. Most players are going to follow someone that's a better player. So
yeah,
I'm sad about that.
All right. Well, listen, man, you're getting fives in the chat, man. So no need to be nervous, man. Good.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
All right, man. Great job. Hold it down out there in Saudi Arabia, man. Salute to the troops. My man's a trooper himself, man. He's waking up at 2 a.m. to watch these Knicks. That's what's up, man. Dedication. Sheesh.
And tuning into the show.
Man. Somebody clip this up and send this to Knicks PR, man. Tell them to cut the check for now, man. I mean, it's long overdue, man. We're carrying fans from Saudi Arabia out here.
Vietnam, Saudi Arabia, Australia, London, Ireland.
Yeah. Look at the work we do for this organization, man.
We're respect that we get.
Yeah. We're setting up an epic battle of the fans right now, man. Jose.
Oh, I heard Jose's call, man.
Oh, yeah. I got so many people ready to go at Jose, man. Not tonight. Tonight's not tonight. We're gonna sit on and let him marinate a little bit. Maybe it's Wednesday night. You never know. Maybe it's Wednesday night. Jose calls in. Big game against the Nets. But yeah, I got a lot of people who want to smoke with Jose, man. So it's gonna be an epic one. Definitely gonna be an epic one.
Battle of the fans.
Big one. You know in the chat. Let's go.
What's up, y'all? Good to see y'all after a win.
Yep. Yes, sir. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. It's good to know that I was right about Cam and how inserting him into the lineup, man, it's making that defense just what we need.
Yeah.
Right in time for the Nets win that's about to come this Wednesday, because ain't no way we're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
Ain't no way that's happening. But, man, just from seeing this, man, I know it's late. I don't know if we really want to talk about it, but once everybody gets healthy, man, what's Thibs going to do? Because you got Sims there, which, of course, Sims can come off the bench, but that's a prospect right there. That his ability just to be able to move laterally with the defenders and hops and everything and keep the young core together and everything like that. You got Grimes coming. I'm hoping Evan doesn't see the floor, but you know how Thibs can be. What you thinking?
Well, the thing is that this was a question that we were asking in preseason. Once everybody's healthy, what happens? And what happens is you just never know what's going to happen. Because when Grimes was in there cooking in the summer league, we were like, well, Cam's the odd man out now, right? And we're saying, well, if Cam can't stay healthy, he's not consistent, and now it's Grimes who can't stay healthy. And with this injury, this is his second game missed. And we talked about it from last week. Me and JD, after the Hawks game, we're like, well, they're going to put Grimes in starting lineup eventually, but not right now because he's not ready. Boom, next game, they start him. Boom, right after that, he's out back-to-back against the Celtics. Okay, is it precautionary? Well, now we know tonight, no. That thing is still messed up. It's a concern, man. It's a concern. I don't think Grimes is going to get back on track this season. He's going to be a long ways away. I just don't see it, man.
Yeah, he might be a long ways away, man. Yeah. Maybe like, what, a month?
Who knows? Who knows, man? Because every time he steps on the court, it's another setback. So right now, this is Cam's spot, man. Fournier's out of there. He's on the bench. He's coming off the bench. He's looking pretty lousy out there. He's not coming back into the starting rotation. So this is Cam's moment. There's no better time than now for Cam to try to claim a spot, to try to solidify his future with this team. Now, offensively, will it be that? With sharing the ball with RJ, Julius, and Brunson, I don't see it. Not in this lineup. But defense is where we're going to need him. So just go out there, play some defense, knock down some shots when you do get the ball, and maybe Thibs finds some space for him, some rotational, staggering some minutes there where maybe he gets in with that second unit a little bit, takes some more Fournier's minutes, and find some more rhythm with that second unit, because that's what I feel like it is for Cam.
I feel that. Well, hope y'all have a good night, man. I hope that Evan just sits on the bench with McBride and we have a good win on Wednesday.
All right, man. Take it easy, man. Yeah, Al, what's been your thoughts on the whole Grimes thing? Disappointed, man. Just disappointed.
Highly disappointing.
It's a big setback.
I wrote for KFTV when Mac retweeted out there was a potential lineup change. And my immediate thought went to, like, it was either going to be IQ or Grimes. I was leaning more so towards Grimes. I felt that if he was going to be available, and we saw that questionable the day before, that he went from being doubtful to being questionable. And in my article, I wrote that I could see Thibs taking this chance because he needs a Hail Mary after that loss to Atlanta. That Atlanta Hawks loss was terrible. It gave all vibes of last season, being up 23 points, then starting to lose it a little bit in the second, completely losing in the third, and then just losing by double digits in the end. And the way you couldn't go into Philly knowing that there was not going to be one Joel Embiid and now no James Harden.
Yeah.
You had to make sure that your best lineup was out there. So it was not surprising, but also surprising because Grimes hadn't had any reps, man. Like
Right.
with the first unit, like you need rhythm and continuity
Right.
in your starting rotation. That's the biggest Hail Mary
Yeah.
that I think he ever tossed out there. That was a big shock.
That's why me and JD were so steadfast after the Hawks game. Like, there's no way they gonna put him in like that and rush him in. He's not ready. And then they started in the next game, and Jeff came on the next night. He was like, "Why was he even starting?"
Yeah, that made no sense.
I don't understand it because like it's not like Cam wasn't. Cam was playing. Cam was warm. He's been playing all season. You knew that the change was going to be Fournier, right? That was the only obvious move in the starting lineup. It was going to be Fournier moving out. He's not coming back into the starting rotation. But I didn't see the need to rush Grimes. But there's something up with this injury. Like I said, I was told it was plantar fasciitis. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he can get back. Hopefully he's rest.
Injury is so mysterious. I have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
You think you're trying to break into Fort Knox, just trying to figure out what the injury is. We don't even know what the injury is.
Right.
We just know it's just soreness.
Right.
That's it.
So
maybe we actually need Doogie Howser on this.
Maybe we just might. We just might. And so for the people that's like, well, get rid of Fournier. I'm not so, unless he requests a trade outright, I'm not so sure they'd be so quick to get rid of him because not only is Grimes' injury a concern, you just don't know what Cam. But just remember, Cam has had some injury concerns as well. You just never know. Now you got my guy Svi, Mihalyachuk off the bench. He's a sharpshooter. Maybe he could give him a little bit, but I don't think the Fournier situation is one where I don't think it's so cut and dry to just say leave him on the bench, don't play him at all. I don't think they would do a vet like that. He's been a professional class citizen, good to this organization. He signed with the organization. I think it's a tricky line to balance. Yes, you know that he has a lot of deficiencies. Yes, you know he's kind of hurting the team. I don't think they just go to outright benching him in no minutes.
It's just, I would expect if this injury if Grimes is able to come back, there's no way you do what you just did, as we saw, throw him into a starting rotation. I don't even think you give him that many minutes with the second unit, to be honest with you. I think you have to really wean him in like slowly, like give him like 10 minutes, maybe max 10 minutes, and you still have to use Evan Fournier. You know, you go from a 10-man rotation to 11-man rotation just to make sure Quentin Grimes is able to play on that foot.
Mm-hmm.
You say it's plantar fasciitis that he has.
Yeah.
That's what you've been told. But this is so mysterious. Like, we don't even know if he's going to need surgery. We don't know how long it's going to take for him to heal. There's just so many things, and they make it seem like he could be ready to go any day. Like, that's the way that that's how it's being reported to us right now, and that's how I feel. It's that he could be back in the lineup any day, but then could go right back out of the lineup and the next day afterwards.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just if he's hurt, just say out. Like, there's no stop with the questionable, doubtful. He is out.
Right.
Like, have him heal up, have him ready to go. There's no reason, especially for a young career. Like, don't mess up his career just because you need him back out there.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if he's going to be an asset to this team. Makes no sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. First Lady of Sports says, well, they benched Kemba. Well, Kemba was completely done. He's not even in the league right now. Yeah, I don't think Fournier ain't that bad. Somebody will pick Fournier up.
Let me ask you this question. What do you think of Fournier's role right now off the bench? What did you think of his performance tonight?
Absolutely dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
He's terrible. He's been terrible.
Of course. Like, it's not a question like defensively, but do you think the one thing I will say is that you got you some steals, you got you some assists.
Yeah, you got a couple. He had a couple in there.
Yeah, I'm not saying he had a great game, but I'm saying if you give him time to roll with the second unit, like you
got to give him some time.
Let him cook a little bit with the second unit. I feel like him rocking with the second unit will be much better than what we saw with the first unit because he was barbecue chicken.
Right.
On
Yeah, I think you got to give him some time to adjust. He did make a couple of plays, you know what I'm saying? He did make a couple of plays, but other than that, it was like, all right, man. You know, your days are numbered. You know what I'm saying?
He's a good bench player, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Like he was, while he was in Orlando, he was put in a position to be a starter, and you know, not really a starter in this league. I think he's a good 6th, 7th guy off your bench.
Right.
He'll give you some instant scoring, can give you a little bit of playmaking, some good team defense here and there, but that's it.
I agree with that. All right, let's take a couple more and then wrap up. We'll skip play ratings for tonight. Move it to Wednesday. It's getting late here on the East Coast. Jan and DC, go ahead. Let's go rapid fire.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Yeah, I was just wanted to say, like, what you guys are talking about with Fournier. I'm hoping that, like, Thibs moving Sims into the lineup tonight is him starting to think of things more in terms of, like, matchup oriented coaching instead of his philosophy oriented coaching. It feels like he created all of these self-imposed rules, like you always have to have a center. Fournier has to play with the starting lineup. Obi and Randle can't play together. These things we've seen for years and years, and now he's finally starting to like think, okay, well, how can I create good matchups for my players instead of losing with the philosophy that I love so much. So I'm hopeful that this is a sign for things to come and not just that his hand was forced because of injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate the call. We'll see on Wednesday if the Sims thing has legs or was it just a one-time thing. But I still think he gives us more of a paint presence than Hartenstein. I even said it in the game against... What was the game that they were playing and they didn't go to Obi? In the game against the Celtics, where a lot of people were tight that they took Obi out in crunch time and in favor of Hartenstein. And I said it then that I felt like Thibs was looking for more of a paint presence, get a bit more tougher in there, a bit more rebounds, a little bit more rim protection. He didn't play. I don't think Sims played at all in that game, so it was really Hartenstein. But I kind of felt at that point that Thibs was kind of looking for that. And then he goes out and starts Sims in this game. So we'll see. Maybe Sims gets the nod against the Nets as a primary Mitch replacement, and then you bring Hartenstein off the bench. We'll have to see how it goes.
I hope it's Sims as the starter. I think it just makes sense.
Yeah.
For rim protection, defensive purposes. We've seen, as of right now, Hartenstein has more minutes than Mitchell Robinson into the season because of Mitch's foul troubles, the more recent games, and we just have seen that the defense is not the same when Mitch is out. Mitch isn't out there now. Granted, Mitch got into foul trouble, one for unnecessary like hacking, but at the same time, our perimeter defense, he's a safety valve. So if you're blown by Evan Fournier and Jalen Brunson, Mitch has to, be there to to protect the paint. So
right,
I think now with the change of having Cam in the starting rotation and you have Jericho Sims, I mean, we saw it tonight. It played out really well. I would just continue to roll with that moving forward.
You gotta get better defensively. Hartenstein, he's very active. He gives you good energy. Can get on the boards. He's not a good defender overall. He's not a good overall defender. Setting screens. That's why I think Sims just is more sound as a center and gives you a little bit of versatility as well. Now he's not gonna space the floor, of course not. But Sims is strong. I thought he did a good job, kind of pestering Towns tonight. And so. Good job. Sims back home in Minnesota gets the start in front of the hometown crowd, in front of his family and stuff. So that was nice. All right, closing the show. Jay Boogie, let's go.
Salute. 3 capital S's. But man, should I say
Good morning. Three capital G's because we on a late night creep, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it's going to be like when we on these West Coast trips.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be, them late hour trips. So if you like my man over there, you know what I'm saying, in the Air Force that's rocking with us, you're going to stay up and be up, especially when we get a dub, especially when we win a game that we really needed to win. You know what I'm saying? Too much chaos going on about the games we lost. It's not about the games we lost. It's more like how we lost. So that's what people should have been talking about, how we lost. But you got to look at the caliber player teams that we lost against. Memphis, Atlanta Hawks, they got two superb guards. Cleveland, you know what I'm saying, with Donovan over there. These Boston Celtics, they got two All-Stars and they Eastern Conference champions that been to the championship. You got to look at the type teams that we don't lost to, and we still trying to gel. We still trying to figure out this thing. We still trying to come together. We still trying to learn from one another what's the best place for this person to be at, that person to be at. We still up in the developing stages, you know what I'm saying? But for us to go on the road and get a win after knowing that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of teams that we have played against, and instead of Boston the other night would have lost, and it paid off and showed you that tonight with Minnesota. Another team, we had a good night, a good offensive night. Yeah, it carrying over. Now, so let me find out. They ain't a big three, but they are big three. Let me find out that Jalen and Julius and RJ, they get ready to start averaging like 60 to 70 points per game. If they're going to do that, they're cool. I don't care if Grimes is healthy or not. Let them stay coming off the bench. Continue on putting Cam in that starting lineup. You know what that does? That allows RJ to play his normal spot, which is a two guard. That allows, you know what I'm saying, Cam to be able to play perimeter D on some other people. That allows not more shots to be taken away from my big three, but more defensive stops to be taken away from my big three. So I love Cam being in that position. That gives Cam more confidence. He ain't got to be like Obi last year, looking over his shoulder, wondering if I'm going to play, wondering when I'm going to come out. So I like what's happening. All we got to do is get Mitch to come back and stay healthy, and that'll give us two defensive players to go along with the other three, our big three that we got doing what they do. I love what we got going on right now. Just continue to relax. Let the team gel. Let the team format. Let it come together, man. Stop putting so much pressure on the team about getting rid of people so early in the season, man. I'd rather learn and go through what we're going through right now, the early stage of the season, than for us to be rocking and fall off at the end of the season, and then we up out of here. But this is building stage. Watch out for the second half of the season, man. I'm telling you, the team is going to get that much better, you know what I'm saying? They're going to show a lot of people and shock a lot of people. But I'm going to take this W tonight and get ready to go to the YMCA. Nah, that's not even a gym over there. It's a YMCA. It's a ping pong tournament. If they ain't playing ping pong over there, it's a track tournament going on over there. But here we come, and I'm looking to knock their head off. They ain't playing no D. So, KD, go ahead and get your 50, 60 points. But we shutting down everybody else on all perimeter. Salute, salute, salute. Everybody continue to have on a blessed Tuesday.
J Boogie. This wasn't a bum night for, man. Came in and brought down the house with another 5-star sermon. Throw some fives in the chat for J Boogie. Yeah, man, bounce back win. Good to get a win. It's good to come on the late night edition Knicks Fan TV post game live after a win. You know what I'm saying? Would have been even shorter. Would have been even more rapid fire had they lost. But nevertheless, 1 a.m. Eastern after a win is not so bad. So, great show, everybody. Great show, J Boogie. Great show, Alex, TM, Lash, all the mods, Shells, JJ, everybody in the chat. I want to shout out to 0031 says Julius feeling the pressure from Obi's play and is stepping his game up. One of them still got to get traded. He also says, Obi in a package for Anthony Edwards or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Who says no? Shout out Micah Calendar once again, and shout out to Joshua Sarasua. Okay, episode 338. That's right, man. We are labeling all our episodes, man. Took us a long time to do it, but shout out to TM and all the great work that they do. Episode 338, man. So we rocking. We creeping up on 500. We creeping up on 60,000 subs, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that share button, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are climbing to 60,000. I want 60,000 before the season is over, and I have a feeling we're gonna get there, man. I believe the Knicks YouTube channel is about 70,000. So we on their heels right now. We on their heels. So make sure you share these videos. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the thumbs up button, and subscribe to the channel. Because as my guy from Saudi Arabia said, we got people checking in from Italy, all over the world. This is the number one show for the fans by the fans for a reason, man. Knicks Postgame Live, presented by Manscaped, CP and Alex. Great show. Remember that these shows are also available in audio podcast format. All the major podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, everything. We are everywhere, so no reason to miss us. You can also follow us on social media as well. You see the social media tags below. Shout out to Gamba, great work on the visualizations and the graphics. Shout out to Tyler, Jarrett, the whole team, everybody at KnicksFanTV.com. Salute to everybody. Salute to Edgar on the phones. Salute to everybody, man. All right, so we'll see you guys Wednesday. Knicks versus the New Jersey Nets, man. Yeah, we don't respect